na nag-training needs. Eh, pwedeng lumabas po sa training needs nila doon na maaaring may ibang lugar pa sa San Rafael na ang source ng drinking water ay poso. Maaari lang, hindi ko na sinasabi, hindi ko tiniiyak. Kasi ang San Rafael kasi napakalawak, napakalaki, no? So, halimbawa ganoon, pwede silang ako kung pwede silang mag-provide ng extension service na since doon pa nanggagaling yung water nila for drinking, they can provide water potability tests for the meantime. Kasi yun pa ang source ng water nila. Ngayon, kung halimbawa naman, isusustain yun, pwedeng ma-identify na nila lahat ng barangay na hindi pa naaabot ng water districts nila. Kasi po napakaluwang ng San Rafael. So, yun po yung binigay ko sa kanyang sample. Ulitin ko po, ilista nyo yung lahat ng activity, kada program. Tapos, doon tayo magkakaroon ng idea kung ano yung gagawin natin, alin yung priorities natin. Sabi ko nga kay Sir Dave, nag-usap kami kanina ni Ma'am Yoli, sabi niya, hindi ba nyo actually magagawa talaga ngayon yan? Kung at least lang ngayon, magka-idea lang kayo and then discuss nyo sa respective college nyo and campus, mag-coordinate kayo sa inyong SESO head and through your team para mag-convene kayo, mag-usap-usap kayo. Hindi naman magagawa yan ng isang tao lang. Maganda po ang extension program nyo ay katulad ng discuss ko kanina, product ng collaboration ng lahat ng stakeholders. Pwede nga itanong nyo muna sa community. Di po ba? Para magka-idea kayo. Okay po? Gano'n na lang po. Pag nakolekta po ni Sir Dave, kami po ni Ma'am Yoli, ayusin namin, magko-comment kami. Pag nagsasubmit tayo ng research, may mga comment. Tapos po, babalik namin sa inyo, saka nyo po i-finalize. Yun po. Thank you.
Kaya nga. So, ayan po. According to Dr. Villanueva po, ay i-connect na lang po. So, this is your college assignment. So, kindly submit through your SESO head and program leaders your proposed umbrella program po. So, I think yung mas maraming program po, ang medyo marami-rami gagawin na umbrella. That's why during our college visit po under the transfer of technology ay lagi po namin sinasabi, bawat program po dapat may kanya-kanya extension. And isa po sa mga nabisita namin ang Bustos Campus, that all of their programs have extension. Napakagaling po ng Bustos. Congrats po. Kaya po wala akong nakikita problema po sa kanilang umbrella kasi po lahat ng program po nila ay mayroong extension program. Nag-uumapaw po, to be honest. During the REC, puro bustos, di kayo na. Sana all. Yun po. So again, since that wala pa po yung other colleges, I think, medyo nasarapan po ata ang siesta. So, yun. Pakisubmit na lang po ang inyong mga respective program umbrella through your SESO head. So, let us continue our program for this afternoon. And I think po, meron tayo, of course, para din po sa inyong terminal report is iikot po ang ating staff for your afternoon attendance po so that we can give you some certification po after ng inyong appearance po for this whole day activity. Thank you po. Okay, so again, thank you very much to all of you for staying with us. I hope everyone enjoyed the lunch. And to continue with our activity, let me introduce our third resource speakers for program and project cycle and evaluation of proposal. She graduated Bachelor of Science in Food Technology on 1997 at University of Santo Tomas. She received her Master of Arts in education, major on chemistry on 2013 at Bulacan State University. Now, 2024, she is the faculty in College of Science at Bulacan State University, formerly the Director of Extension Service Office, and now she is the head of the Extension Proposal Evaluation and Extension Service Office. A round of applause for Madam Joanna May Nepomuceno. Good afternoon, Madam.
Good afternoon to everybody. Actually, may request si Sir Carlito kanina sa akin. Sabi niya sa akin, I should keep my part now in the program short as possible. No? Sasabihin ko lang sana sa inyo, good afternoon and thank you for listening. Para tapos na. I would like to offer coffee to everybody because it's after lunch and I know that it's unholy hour and all of us are a little bit sleepy. Lalong-lalo na dun sa masarap natin na lunch. So meron tayo available na coffee doon while you're listening to my voice as I discussed with you the PAP cycle. So yung kanina, diniscuss nila Ma'am Jovi and we were very thankful that they were able to clarify to all of us the alignment of the projects and programs that we should have in our academic programs. So very particular tayo dun sa specialization natin, naka-base dun sa core subjects natin, dun sa mga kurso na tinuturo natin, para makita natin kung ano nga ba talaga yung alignment na sinasabi natin in terms of yung sa program na gagawin natin or conceptualize natin sa extension. Also, binanggit din nila Ma'am Jovi kanina that prior to our extension services, meron mga pinagdadaanan na proseso. Like for example, uunahin muna natin yung consultative meetings natin. Especially if we already have a target partner, may target tayo na beneficiary. Kakausapin muna natin sila. We will be asking them to sit down with us, have a roundtable discussion with them, and ask them what we can do para sa kanilang community or para dun sa kanilang beneficiaries. And then from there, we would be able to conceptualize what programs and projects that we could give them or offer them for our extension services. Also, nabanggit din na after nung consultative meeting, meron tayong tinatawag na TNA, yung needs analysis natin. Very important that the needs analysis should be given to our partners so that yung partners natin unang-una pa lang, alam na nila what we can offer. And us, alam na natin what the partners are asking from us. So doon pa lang, doon na tayo makakapag-conceptualize ng programs and projects natin that we will be including in the MOA or in the MOU. Doon sa mga gumagawa sa atin ng MOA at MOU, may I remind lang na doon sa article 2 ba yan, Rose? Yung specific programs and projects of the college or of the program, naka-stipulate dun sa MOA natin. So, mayroong mga others pa dun, pwede natin idagdag. Pero dun pa lang dapat makikita na natin if the activity that we are offering our partners are already aligned sa atin, aligned dun sa mga tao na papadala natin. Ang sabi ni Ma'am Yoli kanina, nag-i-invite siya ng mga alumni namin. Kaka-clarify ko sa kanya, yung bang mga alumni na ini-invite mo, libre. Kasi sabi natin sa community service talaga, hindi tayo nagbibigay ng personal services. Kasi nga, going to the community services. So, nakasama yan sa mandate natin, yung fourfold na sinabi kanina nila na function natin, extension services isa doon. Sinusweldohan na tayo doon. So, paano nga ba tayo makakapag-conduct ng ating mga extension services? Meron tayong tinatawag na PAPS cycle or Programs and Project Cycle. This will be, I will be including in my discussion the introduction to PAPS, PAPS cycle, and then the PAPS template and forms. Ito yung mga pictures of the previous activities that the Extension Services Office has offered. Kanina nabanggit nila Ma'am Yoli yung meron talagang ang Extension Services Office natin, nagkaroon talaga tayo na extension on the uplands and the wetlands. So yan, Nagtanim tayo ng puno sa taas ng bundok at nagtatanim din tayo ng puno malapit sa coastal natin. Kasi kasama yan sa component natin ng daloy ng kalikasan at saka collaborated yan with the IEG or the Institute for Environmental Governance. Now, hindi siguro alam ng karamihan that the College of Science, headed by Dr. Tadjosa, has already made the mangrove rehabilitation project into a full-blown extension of the environmental science program. So, meron kaming collaboration at nung time na medyo maluwag-luwag pa, naisasama namin yung mga estudyante. Inaalaw kami na isama yung mga estudyante, lalong-lalo na yung mga nasa environmental science namin. So, they were invited and they were enjoying it kasi it's part of what they need to know. Part yun ng kanilang kurso. So, hindi kami nahirapan nung una, pero nung after na, nung itong 2024 na medyo naghigpit na talaga sila sa paglabas ng students natin. Also, nandito din yung mga consultative meetings natin, tapos yung mga MOA signing activities natin. These are all part of the process para maging successful yung extension service natin. Yun, sinasabi ko. Okay. Since sabi ko, I will be discussing the evaluation of the PAPs na pinapasa sa amin. Kaklarify ko lang to start with that the alignment of your programs should start with you. Kasi kayo yung nakakaalam kung ano yung mga specializations ninyo. So we cannot say na, oh, hindi sa inyo to. That's why in the PAPs, merong rationale and objectives na nakabangga doon sa component ng university, which I will show you in a little while. Now, there are 3 classifications of the extension services. We have the internally funded. Yan po yung pinapasa niyo sa amin. We have a budget of 100,000 pesos per academic program. So, kunwari sa College of Science, meron kami, sa Science Department namin, meron kaming 4 na programa. Sa College of Science, Science Department. Meron po kasi yung departamento sa MatEd. So, meron kaming MedTech, meron kaming FoodTech, meron kaming ES, at meron kaming Bio. So, yung Department of Science na yun, makaka-receive siya all in all ng 400,000. Pero, ang allotment nun, ang allocation nun, 100,000 sa PS Bio, 100,000 sa FoodTech, 100,000 sa ES, at 100,000 sa MedTech. Now, dati no, si Phoebe, tinatanong niya ako, paano ba kung hindi na-utilize nung college yung lahat ng budget na allotted for them? Ay, ang lagi ko sinasabi, let's see hanggang sa matapos yung calls natin, if talagang maganda, hanggang sa last minute pagka meron kaming special calls, may available fund pa, that's the only time na i-allow namin yung sobra, yung mga proposals na hindi makakasama dun sa 100,000. Kailan ko sinasabi, we have to use our budget properly. We only have 100,000 pesos per academic program per annum. Tandaan po natin na sa extension services dati wala po talagang budget. Ngayon swerte tayo, budgeted na tayo ng university. Hindi po siya kapareho ng research na kahit magkano ay minsan nga meron pa yung 1 million na request for budget. Lalo na kapag justify nila sa proposal nila, pinapayagan sila or ina-approve sila. Sa atin, hindi tayo ina-approve kasi nandun lang sa PPMP natin yung 100,000 per academic program. Ma'am Rose, we will still allow na pag meron pang extra doon. We will still allow naman para magamit natin, mag-utilize natin 100% yung budget natin for PAPs natin. Now we also have, and we greatly encourage externally funded. Yung externally funded po, may partner tayo. Tapos si partner ang magbibigay ng pondo sa atin. Okay. Napakaganda po nun. Yung sa College of Science, lagi akong mag-aano sa College of Science kasi doon ako naka-affiliate. Sa College of Science namin, yung PSA na sinasabi kanina nila Ma'am Yoli, Philippine Statistics Authority, Tama ba? Ma'am Shell, tama ba? PSA? Yung nakuha na namin regional partnership. So, yung lahat ng provinces under Region 3, kung ang hinihingi lang nila sa amin, ang part lang namin is yung expert services ng mga statisticians namin. Para sila ay ma-hone yung skills ng mga nagtatrabaho sa PSA. Now, kung sakali na, let's say, kanina sabi nasa Nueva Ecija for 3 days, lahat ng yun bayad ng PSA. So, bayad nila yung transportation, bayad nila yung accommodation, bayad nila yung pagkain, at saka minsan, bayad din nila, minsan nagbibigay sila ng allowance. Wala na allowance. Basta yung importante, binabayaran ng PSA yung mga mahal, yung meals during the training, yung training materials are paid for by PSA. So yun yung isa sa mga externally funded natin, ano. Another externally funded na university-wide naman yung scope niya is yung Tarabasa. Tama ba, Sir Dave? Tarabasa na DSWD naman. Tapos lahat din, even yung together with DepEd, including yung mga meals, transportation ng mga participants and ng mga tayo, pati parents, are shouldered by the DSWD and of course yung DepEd. So yun yung mga tinatawag natin na externally funded. And then also, we have the independent extension services. Ito yung dati ang tawag natin sa kanya personally funded. Unfortunately, medyo allergic ang mga accreditors dun sa personally funded. Ayaw nila yun. Ayaw nila nang gumagastos sa faculty. So sabi natin, ang term na gagamitin natin is independent extension services. Ibig sabihin, through the initiative of the project leaders and its members, sila na lang yung mag-shoulder. Total, minimal lang naman siguro yung gagastusin for that particular project. So, sinama ko to kasi alam ko sa JC3 kasama ang proposal. Kasama yung proposal. Parang tinitignan nila if you have a proposed project and then the terminal reports. Parang isa yan dun sa mga attachments. So whether it's externally funded or whether it's internally funded, or whether it's an independent extension service, sana magpasa kayo ng, yung PAPS kasi automatic yun, nasa amin yung proposal nyo eh. Pero yung iba, like lalong-lalo na yung independent, hindi nagpapasa yung iba, tapos nagugulat na lang kami na merong ganun palang project yung colleges. Now, should we be strict on that, Ma'am Rose? Lahat ay hihinga na natin ng PAPS. Para dun sa mga programs po na nai-implement nila, whether it's externally funded or internally funded. Accomplishment report na. So going to the PAP cycle, saan ba nagsisimula ang PAP cycle o yung proposal? Sabi nga natin, habang nakaupo kayo dyan, gumagawa kayo ng umbrella proposals, yung umbrella projects and programs niya for the college, dyan na nagkakaroon ng conceptualization. While you're chismissing with each other, you are already discussing possible projects with possible stakeholders or possible partners. So dyan pa lang nagsisimula na yun. Tapos kung meron kayong identified na partners na may MOA na kayo with them, madaling i-execute yun. Pero yung kung wala pa, isulat nyo lahat yan, na yan yung mga available na projects nyo, available na mga programs dun sa college nyo. Tapos kapag nakipag-usap kayo dun sa partner nyo, you'll be able to tell them, oh, we can provide you with this because we have specialists for this. Now, just in case na, for example, livelihood, tapos papasukan mo ng marketing strategies or papasukan natin ng packaging and labeling, which sabihin na natin it's not part of your specialization anymore. that's where we encourage collaboration with other colleges. We do not suggest that you get from outside of the university. If we could have somebody from inside the university that you think would be an expert to that particular project or program that you want or activity that you want as part of your project, kausapin natin yung pwede natin ka-collab. For example, marketing, CBA, pwede natin ka-collab dyan. Baka marami silang bright ideas and mai-share nila. Maging prosperous yung livelihood program ninyo with that particular beneficiary. Now, we start with the preparation of PAPs. That is on your part. Kaya nakalagay doon faculty. Conceptualization, brainstorming, these are all products of what you can do and what you know of the community as well as of your partners. So, preparation of PAPs starts with you as a faculty. Now, preliminary review, alignment of the program. Yung diniscuss kanina nila Ma'am Jovi and nila Ma'am Yoli. Nasa college nyo na yan. That would be on the college level. Nung CDIO pa tayo, ibig sabihin nung meron pang CDES, no, yung part na yon nasa CDES. Nakakala Ma'am Cindy yun, nakakala Ma'am Amber yun. So sila pa lang dapat na-filter out na nila if aligned yung program dun sa in-offer nung particular college na yun. Kaya lang, can we go back dun sa... Kaya lang, ito yung sinasabi ko kanina kay Ma'am Michelle, na madadagdagan actually yung trabaho ni CESU. No? Preliminary review will include the CESU, the program head or the department chair, as well as the dean of the college. Simply because you are looking into the alignment of your academic programs to the programs of your extension services. And then after that, kapag naayos nyo na po yan, tsaka namin siya tatanggapin sa Extension Services Office. We will be doing the technical and the financial review. And then eventually, we will be giving a feedback after 10 working days. Hopefully, after 10 working days. Nung dati kasi, sasabihin nyo na di-delay, marami pa kasing pinagdadaanan talaga. Imagine if you will be submitting, if we will be calling the PAPs, meron siyang duration ng 1 month. So magbibigay sa inyo ng advisory na nag-open na yung call for PAPs. Tapos you will be given a month to actually do all the preparations, ganyan, technical reviews. And then, nagre-request lagi na, can you extend? Doon kami na-delay yung mga request for extension. But since now, pagka nag-call kami for PAPs, open date until November. Tama ba? October. Yung call natin for PAPs, ma'am. For 2025. 2 months lang. 2 months, ah? 2 months lang. So, we will be calling ng May, and then we'll be ending May, July. We'll be ending the call sa July. That is for the 2025 implementation of PAPs. So, meron kayo mas mahaba-habang time to conceptualize what you want us to fund next year. So, remember, yung aming pag-aaralan at i-evaluate after pag pinasa nyo sa amin, next year nyo pa siya may implement kasi next year pa lalabas yung budget niya. So, ideally, we will be doing a 10-day evaluation for the technical and financial. Tapos, after that, we will be recommending it. Pagka walang problema, pag merong problema, we will be giving it back to you for your revisions, and we'll also be giving you 10 working days for the revisions. Tapos, if we have no more problems with it, nagkasundo na tayo dun sa content niya, financial, technical, and alignment, we will be recommending it for the approval of the RTC, or the Research and Extension Council, to be convened by the VP RIE, si Dr. Kino, REI. And then we'll be seeking for the approval of the Finance Board and the BOR, and the President, of course, of the university. Next, thank you. Hi. Okay, guidelines on the PAP cycle. Now, the faculty member shall submit a full-blown, alam na naman ng mga project leaders yan, that you will not be submitting a capsule proposal anymore, but a full-blown proposal for your extension services. That would be, submitted to the program chair, and then eventually the dean, and then eventually yung CESO will be the one to coordinate all of these things before it will be submitted to us. But we will be also looking into the checklists na kailangan na attachments natin. Dito tayo nagkakaroon ng problema minsan. We are asking for hard copies. Now, pag mayroong kulang, dinidelay namin or hindi namin siya nire-review kasi all of these things must be completed sa side namin. So, as a checklist namin, we have the full-blown extension proposal. We have the line item budget. Now, we also have the curriculum vitae of the program or project leader and an action plan on the alignment and sustainability of the program. Now, yung Gantt chart ninyo, which is yung action plan na kasama dyan, make sure that yung Gantt chart nyo will only contain the yung trabaho lang natin dun sa extension mismo. Not anymore the consultation, not anymore the MOA signing. Kasi dun nagkakaroon minsan ng delays dun sa implementation ng programs and projects ninyo. Now, for the College Extension Services Council, meron din ito sa research eh. And we would also like to request that you should have this in the extension services ninyo. Para makita natin if really your programs, the ones that you're giving us, you're submitting to the office, or aligned to your programs. Again, sasabihin ko ulit, na we do not know your specializations. You are the ones who actually know of the nature of your courses. And so, yung alignment na yan, manggagaling sa inyo yan. For example, kung sakali si dishwashing liquid, kanino bang kurso talaga siya naka-connect pa? Kailangan kayo yun. Kayo ba talaga yun? Pag chemistry kayo, pwedeng sa inyo. Now, meron kasing talagang nag-overlap ng mga activities eh. For example, nandun sila sa financial, nandun sila sa marketing strategies and all that. Tapos, ang ibibigay nila is yung livelihood program. Pero ang alignment nila, sasabihin nila na ito ay sa amin kasi parte ito ng pagbebenta eh, paggagawa ng negosyo. Pero kasi yung mismong expertise ng paggawa, na kaninong kolehiyo nga ba? Kaya medyo doon nagkakaroon ng problema kapag tinitignan na for accreditation.